If you imagine, if you would, you have a young man. Perhaps they live in a home with a single parent. They get up, they leave their house. What do they pass? Crumbled sidewalks, littered with what I would call failed dreams and broken promises.
I was going down a pretty dark road, being angry at society, not trusting anyone.
I was a troubled kid. I entered a foster care system when I was 14.
They walk past a building, and that building is empty. It's vacant. Everything about the physical appearance of that building reminds them of failure.
The story seems typical whenever you're reading the newspaper, but there are so many of my friends who didn't make it.
The Manchester Craftsmen's Guild is an arts program designed to work with kids who are at risk in the school system. This is my concept of what a school for poor people is supposed to look like. I grew up in Manchester, which was a subsection of the north side of Pittsburgh. My life story is basically 6 city blocks. I started Manchester Craftsmen's Guild in an old row house in the neighborhood during the riots. We started working with kids from the street to save their souls with clay. I wanted to help some of the kids to provide them with another idea about a different way of doing business with their life. Okay, Drew. How are you? Good to see you, man.
In Manchester Bidwell Corporation, you've got all these different moving parts. You have the concert hall, we have the jazz series, we have youth arts education, we have adult career training, we have a greenhouse. We have all these moving parts, but together, all these things become greater than the sum of their parts.
Come on in the kitchen.
They come to a place like this, and in many cases, their lives are totally transformed by virtue of how they feel about what they learn here, and ultimately how they feel about themselves.
When I walk into the Manchester Craftsmen's Guild, I feel like I could relax, I could be myself.
Bidwell was exciting at times, it was challenging at times.
This is not for individuals who don't want to commit 100%. It's very rigorous.
They put us in an environment where they gave us the opportunity to be comfortable with accepting greatness.
Fantastic job. This couldn't be any better.
I believe that people are really born into the world as assets, not liabilities. It's all in the way that you treat people that drives behavior. Hey, Val.
Let me show you the ceramic studio.
There is a connectivity between everything that has happened since that first pot was thrown in Bill's studio to today producing hundreds of thousands of orchids here at the Drew Matheson Center.
The first recording here at Manchester Craftsmen's Guild was with the Count Basie Orchestra, and that record won a Grammy. We went on to win a Latin Grammy with Paquita de Rivera, 2 records with Nancy Wilson, both of which won Grammys.
Herbie Hancock heard about us, Shirley Horn, Betty Carter, Stanley Turrentine.
Pat Metheny started 2 tours here. They could make records anywhere, but they do it here because of what it represents.
What attracted me to this program is that mentorship is a big deal here with the students.
No one is required to mentor you, but it just happens here at Manchester. It's just natural.
This place was built for the students, and they understand that they're part of the family here, and that is a different environment than is created in a traditional classroom setting.
I lost my mom when I was 14. I had no one. But Dave, since I've been 14 till now, has always been in my life. That's my boy right there.
One of the things that we have always done here at Bidwell Training Center is work with the marketplace. We have an active advisory board for every program.
The people that are actually assigned to those advisory boards help develop the curriculum, and the corporate relationships become even stronger, which gives them a vested interest in having good students come out of good programs that service their needs.
The types of programs that they had here and the opportunities that were available to students for free, it's unheard of.
It is a place that you come to with your ideas and your feelings and your body where life makes sense. And you open your life up and your thought process up to the vast opportunity that the world really presents.
Manchester Bidwell Corporation does change lives. It's had that effect on a lot of people.
I was unemployed and decided, hey, I wanted to be a cook all my life. Bidwell Training Center was the right fit for me to pursue a job in the culinary industry.
Once a person experiences Bidwell Training Center, their lives, their families' lives, the communities that they are in, they've been changed forever, and that's what we're all about.
They learn success, and that's the key. It's measurable. They take a piece of clay, put it on one of the machines, work with it, form it, and then it becomes a cup or a bowl, whatever they want it to be. It's one of the first times in their lives where they've experienced success that was initiated by them.
Environment drives behavior. You build beautiful environments, you get beautiful people. You build prisons, you get prisoners.
Bill Strickland has built a school here that is a model for a lot of other cities.
I met Jeff Skoll, one of the guys who put eBay together. He said, you're onto a big idea. You're not running training programs or art programs. You're manufacturing hope, presented as art programs and training programs. And that is a scalable idea.
The goal of replication, or really adaptation, is to take the core principles of Manchester Bidwell Corporation and take them to an environment that's different.
We develop a strategy with local leadership in that community to figure out what adaptation of this idea makes sense for that community.
We've been able to marry the need that schools have to meet the challenges that are much larger than they can handle because they are community-wide, to bring hope to an educational process that increases the likelihood that young people will not only attend school, but then graduate and go on to higher education or vocational training, but ultimately become contributing members of society.
It has been successful in 4 cities in a spectacular fashion. We now have 12 more cities that we're talking to about doing the same thing. So the plan is to build one in Israel and Japan and Sao Paulo, Brazil, and Johannesburg, South Africa, and St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and anywhere else that's willing to listen to us right now.
Every day, I walk into the building in the lobby, and I still see, 25 years later, a big blank white canvas. And I say, okay, what colors are we going to paint with today?
100 years from now, there will be some young man or woman who walks into the doors of this place and is touched by what occurs in here.
There's always a welcoming feeling when I come in here. Even though the people have changed, the vibe and the sense of people caring for you hasn't changed. It's always good people here.
Just another day in the life here at Bidwell.
Now that I'm a teacher, all I want to do now is bring my students here and let them experience the same things I did.
This is an opportunity not just for Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but for the nation and the world.
The Manchester Craftsmen's Guild prepared me for my life.
Manchester brought the positive in my life, you know, it gave me something to look forward to every day.
Without this place, I would not be anywhere near as successful as I am today.
I think that we have discovered a strategy that can bring real, measurable change. We could begin to have a serious national conversation about our public education system and the way that educational services are delivered within the inner city. That could happen now.